We have a really informative agenda for you today. I'm going to introduce you to a little bit about the history of Smart Commute Month and how it got started. I'll provide some details on the two central components of Smart Commute Month, which is the annual survey and the Commuter Challenge. I'll talk about why everyone should take part in Smart Commute Month and how we can provide support and ensure that it is a successful campaign. We'll leave as much time as possible at the end for some Q&A. You'll notice that there is an option for you to write in your questions on the platform. So I will address those at the end. Keep in mind that many of you or all of you are muted at this point. So if you write down your questions, I will address that at the end, and we can have the Q&A session in that type of format. So what is Smart Commute Month? It's an annual campaign that focuses on sustainable modes of transportation, things like carpooling, cycling, walking, transit, and telework. It aims to inspire and encourage commuters to do things like find their best transportation options, encourage them to try a different and more efficient commute, and it highlights rewards in commuters that are already using these options. In 2016, we added the annual survey to collect data on how the region commutes. And in 2017, we decided to grow the campaign from Smart Commute Week to Smart Commute Month. So we now have an entire month to celebrate all things Smart Commute. This year, Smart Commute Month kicks off on September 10th and runs until October 5th. Smart Commute Month, as I mentioned, has two major components. The first one is the annual survey, and the second is this Commuter Challenge. Every September, we survey employees at Smart Commute workplaces across the Greater Toronto-Hamilton region in order to better understand commuter needs on a regional scale. This survey is a great way for us to see how your workforce is getting to work and how to track progress against your goals. Based on the results, we'll be able to create a commuter profile for your workplace and a benchmark for our region. Every year, more than 300 Smart Commute employers in the GTHA participates in this short survey. And they're able to voice their commuter needs, and it helps us track our impacts. The Smart Commute will collect responses from your workplace survey and provide you with meaningful data that you can share with your employees and stakeholders. An infographic like this one will feature your organization's vital statistics along with tools to communicate these results. And we'll follow up with another survey once it's completed. So new for this year, as I mentioned, is this Commuter Challenge, where we ask commuters to try a new sustainable mode of transportation. Participants have the chance to win some great prizes. In order to do this, there's a couple steps. Step one, commuters challenge themselves to try a new mode, such as cycling, walking, transit, or carpooling. Step two, commuters receive information from Smart Commute through emails and or webinars. Commuters who already commute sustainably will have the chance to receive resources to help them encourage others to try new modes. And step three, Smart Commute will be hosting 3 webinars throughout the month to support commuters. It'll be great to join and learn more about things like the Smart Commute tool, Presto, and cycling. Last year, we trialed the Commuter Challenge in Toronto with excellent results. We had a high participation rate and led to a sustained modal shift away from drive-alone vehicle trips. We hope, with your help this year, to achieve equally good results in the York region. So why would it be great to take part in Smart Commute Month? The annual survey is one reason, because it will help you track your progress against your sustainability goals and see the impact of the Smart Commute program on reducing the number of employees driving alone. Another reason is to help tackle traffic congestion. Studies have shown that traffic congestion costs the GTHA over $6 billion. So that's a lot. Another reason is employees are generally happier when they're not stuck in traffic. If they take the Smart Commute Challenge, they'll get to try out different options, and it has the potential of leading to improved job satisfaction, recruitment, and retention. Providing employees with flexibilities and a variety of commute options make your workplace more attractive and demonstrates commitment to employee well-being. And another really good reason is improved staff productivity. Employees who take transit, cycle, walk, or carpool to work are more likely to arrive on time and be less stressed than those who drive alone. So your role as a champion, and how can we help? Well, we ask you, our workplace champions, to promote Smart Commute Month and the Smart Commute Challenge with your coworkers. To help promote Smart Commute Month at your workplace, we'll provide you with all the promotional materials necessary to get the survey and challenge out to your employees, and will help you persuade them to take part. You'll receive ready-made promotional content, including posters and graphics, both in a digital format and paper copies that you can use to display on notice boards and things like the intranet. We'll provide email templates for you to send out to staff. We'll be able to provide outreach events where we can come to your workplace during work hours and connect and engage with the employees at your workplace. We'll be providing webinars, as mentioned earlier. We'll talk about carpooling, transit, Presto, and cycling. If you'd like us to do an outreach event at your workplace, please get in touch. We're more than happy to come out and engage your staff. So what makes a successful campaign? We'll provide you with communications that you can use for emails, newsletters, for your intranet website, that you can feel free to customize these to meet your needs to employees. We recommend setting up an information booth over lunch hour. Set up a table in the common area as well to talk with employees about Smart Commute, encourage them to take the survey and challenge. Ask your Smart Commute coordinator how they can help and support that information booth. You can book a central room for webinars. Encourage your employees to sign up for the Smart Commute webinar to learn about the Smart Commute tool, Presto, and cycling. Consider booking a room and inviting everyone to come together, providing some snacks and some time for discussion afterwards so that employees can share their experience and learn from each other. A really great way of making a successful campaign is enlisting your CEO to champion Smart Commute Month. Encourage from senior leaders can help employees see the value in the program. Consider having your leader take the survey, snap a fun picture, and share it with your employees. So that concludes the presentation today. If there's any questions, feel free to type them in, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. So we have a question here asking if the presentation will be available for download after the webinar. This is recorded, so we will have a recording that we can send out and share with everybody so that they can review it as well. Does anybody have any questions? There's a question regarding pricing for the Smart Commute Challenge and when that would take place. It'll take place after Smart Commute Month, where we've got a chance to do a follow-up survey. That way we can see the behavior change of participants, and we'll be awarding prizes from there. We have a question about when do we have to confirm our participation by? It'd be great to get your participation confirmation before the kickoff. If there are any issues regarding that, if there are some things that need to be taken care of, please reach out to your coordinator and we can discuss further. We want to be able to put together resources specifically for your workplace before kickoff. We have a question about when do we have to confirm our participation by? It'd be great to get your participation confirmation before the kickoff. If there are any issues regarding that, if there are some things that need to be taken care of, please reach out to your coordinator and we can discuss further. We want to be able to put together resources specifically for your workplace before kickoff in September. So there's a couple questions on how to reach out to employees. So we're going to be providing resources digitally, sending out email packages on information that your employees are interested in, whether it's cycling, carpooling, Presto, transit. We'll be able to develop individualized marketing material for specific participants, and we'll be able to reach out to them that way. We're also able to come out to your workplace to do outreach events, a tabling event, if you will. Typically, it works really well during lunch hour, where we'll set up a booth and provide information and other resources that will be useful on how to adopt different commute options. So that's another way of reaching out. And the third way is really just through webinars and some of our other campaign materials. So I mentioned before, we have webinars for carpoolings and the Smart Commute tool, Presto, and cycling. So there's a couple more questions coming in. Are there incentives, rewards for people already taking active or non-SOV modes of transportation? That's a really good question. Individuals who already are doing that are already on a great path. They can still sign up to the Commuter Challenge and offer to help and promote the campaign by assisting others who don't take alternative modes of transportation. So they have the opportunity as well to win some great prizes. And we'll be providing them with resources on how they can be a team lead or a coach or just a point of resource. So for instance, if they already cycle to work and they're very familiar with cycling, they might offer to be able to champion cycling to work during Smart Commute Month and start a bicycle user group. And that way they can support the campaign and still take part in some of the challenges. Another question regarding information booth. If they were to be held, what information should we have on hand to provide people? That's a really good question. We will be able to provide you with all the information necessary. We will come out there ourselves to be able to promote our message and the campaign. So we'll have those available for you. Generally, during these outreaches, our only ask for the workplaces is perhaps a table so we can place the material down somewhere, perhaps a chair, and if there's Wi-Fi available, that'd be great. That way we can provide online resources and take people through the Smart Commute tool or trip links and other resources. Wi-Fi is not always necessary, but it does help, just in case people have a little bit more in-depth questions. But generally speaking, we will be providing the materials. And the information booth will be held by Smart Commute staff. So that will be myself if I'm working with your region or your workplace or any of your Smart Commute leads. So these are some great questions. Are there any more questions? I'm happy to answer anything that you have on your mind. There's a question about the historical annual survey data be available. That's a really good question. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm not 100% sure if that's widely available. There will be data available specifically to your workplace, but in terms of the historical data, I'm not sure. I'll have to speak with Metrolinx on that. Is there any form of sharing information on different programs or resources between Smart Commute champions? That's a really great question. Not at this point, but there's definitely something we could probably facilitate based on um, the workplaces and Smart Commute Champions. There are some kind of clusters that workplace workplaces are, so there might be an opportunity there, but there isn't something formal that is set into place. So that's something we can discuss with the Smart Commute coordinators and do things that way. Definitely, there's an opportunity there. So I'm just trying to read through the list of questions, just making sure that I've got everything. I think that's all the questions that we have. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. If you have further questions, please follow up with your Smart Commute coordinator, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. We'll be reaching out to you individually very soon, and hopefully we can kick things off nicely. Thank you everyone so much for your time this afternoon, and we'll definitely be in touch. Have a good afternoon, everybody.